started here on my right, Jared Smalley.
Hi, Justin. Just about the second quarter there. Tell us about the rhythm that you all discovered, and it just seemed unique. Was that maybe the best stretch you all have had as an offense this year?
I think it was a pretty good stretch. I don't know about the best stretch we've had, but it was a good stretch, and I think we did a great job in the second quarter executing and doing our job, so it's good.
Also in the front row here, Clay.
Anything said after the first quarter? Just the fact that they led for a short time, you got the touchdown to go ahead, but anything expressed from coach or player?
No, not really. I mean, coach always tells us that we're eventually going to get punched in the face, so it's just about how we respond. So I think we responded in a great way, and we just have to keep building on.
Front row, Tim.
Yeah, Justin, was the strip sack a punch in the face? I mean, they're early, and just how did you personally rebound from that? What did you tell yourself?
I wasn't worried about it at all. I have faith in the team, so I mean, when that happens, you really can't do anything about it. You just got to move on to the next play. So I wasn't worried about it personally, and the offense didn't seem worried about it either. So we were good.
Also in the front row, Austin.
Justin, you guys are about to really dive into that meat of the schedule now and go on the road to Nebraska. How do you feel coming in out of this one, that performance? How ready are you guys to head into the big games?
I think we've prepared for the winter, summer, and I think this team is mentally and physically prepared. So we're going to get in the film room tomorrow, see what we can get better at, and just get ready for Nebraska.
We'll go on the left. Kyle. Anybody else?
What do you think the best throw was,
Justin? Sheesh. Probably the one to Ben, maybe. I like that one. So yeah.
It seemed like that showed kind of what you do well. You throw that great deep ball, and then Victor can make some athletic plays. Does that ring true to you?
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of deep threats on the team, so just seeing that executed in the game, it was great to see.
Is Ben doing that in practice too, though? I mean, is he making plays
Yeah.
like that all day now? I mean,
Yeah.
What's the difference in him?
I mean, he's an all-around receiver. He's physical, even though he's not that big. He probably needs to gain a little bit of weight, but he's physical. He's a great route runner. Yeah, he has great hands, and he's just explosive. So he's a great receiver to have.
The back, Spencer.
Justin, you've kind of not really run the ball as much as people thought you might have to begin the season. Now that you guys get into this Big Ten slate, do you think that might increase a little more as you guys kind of open the offense up even more than you guys already have?
I mean, it really just depends how the game goes. So whatever Coach game plans up and whatever he draws up, then I'm willing to do for the team. So it's really whatever we have to do to win.
Front row, Tom.
We saw touchdowns from Garrett Wilson and Jamison Williams today. What have you seen from those guys in practice, and how good can they be when they?
I mean, yeah, Garrett, that was a good catch, but he's definitely had better catches in practice, so that wasn't surprising to see. And Jamison on that slant, when he kind of stopped and started running, I already knew right away he was going to score because he's definitely one of the fastest guys on the team. So his explosiveness, he's going to be a great receiver in the future.
Front row, Bill.
Yeah, you may have been asked this before, but you guys got off to a little bit of a slow start. What was the feeling midway through the first quarter?
You said what?
What was the feeling? What did you guys do to kind of get jump-started in the middle of the first quarter?
I mean, we didn't really change anything up. We knew we started out slow, and we just had to do something about it. So just the way we reacted, I think that was kind of the first time we kind of hit a little bit of adversity this year. So just seeing that bounce back, that was great.
Got time for just a couple more. Anyone else? Joey?
I think it's a great thing I can do, and turn off. But I think it opens up the offense a lot. JK and I, just the defense doesn't know where to go, and plus our receivers down there, they're great red zone receivers, so that does open up the offense a good bit.
We got time for one more. What else? Good.
What is your role as the second and third stringers come in? How do you embrace that role, helping to lead the others?
I mean, I think those guys do a great job in the film room, so I don't really have to coach those guys up at all. But it's really just kind of getting the whole offense, the whole second, third string offense, kind of just energized and just kind of ready to go. I mean, because it's late in the game, the game's pretty much over. But just kind of getting those guys in and just getting reps and just working on the craft. So that's what I try to do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Just want to start off again by thanking the fans. First off, another great crowd. Felt them early in the game. It was great running out of the tunnel, seeing a packed house again. And then to see the student section and a lot of the people still there at the end was really neat for our guys. It was kind of a long game there with the rain and everything, and to see the student body still there on both sides was awesome for our guys. So that was really great. Just want to thank everybody for that. You know, first 5-6 minutes of the game, not great. So a lot of things to clean up off of film there. You know, hit us on some things, and then also we give up the safety. But then from then on, you know, I thought it was pretty dominant overall, and just in terms of defense, I think it was maybe 10 straight drives. We stopped them, 3 and out or close to that. And then on offense, we got in a pretty good rhythm. But anytime you can create turnovers like we did, I think we had 2 sack fumbles by Chase. We had the block punt and the interception by Jeff. And you're playing with a short field that makes all the difference in the world. And we were opportunistic in those situations. I thought going into the game, we had opportunities to get turnovers in other games that we weren't quite there. We got them today, so that was good. But you know, if we're going to go into Lincoln, you know, a lot of things to clean up if we're going to go beat those guys next week. So already on to those guys and focused on preparing for them next week.
We'll open up questions over to the right. Jared. Ryan, the second quarter, you mentioned the rhythm that you all found. That was a historically different quarter here. What was the rhythm that you found? What do you think you got going?
Well, I think anytime you know, your defense can do you know, what they did, which is shut them down, create turnovers like that, and then flip a short field. You know, they were blitzing, and so they were leaving a little bit, you know, of room out there, throwing the ball down the field, and I think we hit some of those, which kind of opened up the game. And then again, you know, we get another sack fumble, we turn the ball, you know, we get the turnover in short field, and then we're able to turn into points. And anytime you can kind of do that, especially with the tempo, they were actually playing a little bit of an up-tempo early, and we were playing really fast early. And so anytime that happens and you can kind of turn the momentum, it can flip fast, and I think that's what happened.
Over to the left, Dylan.
Was there anything you saw from your team leading up to kickoff that you thought they might be a little bit flat? And did you prepare for the option this week?
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually not an option play. It's another type of play that we'll have to work on. They hit us, I think, 3 different times on that. But no, I thought we had a really good week of practice. I thought, you know, coaches did a great job of preparing them. And I'm really proud of the way the guys came out and played. I mean, to come out like that after 3 weeks and a week of, you know, a lot of people telling us how great we were, to come out and dominate like that is pretty impressive. So job well done. But again, it's what have you done for me lately? And we got to go into Lincoln next week and get a big win. So.
Third row right, Tony.
Ryan, we know Garrett Wilson has made plays in practice. Jameson Williams, you've seen him do it in practice. What's it like when you see those 2 freshmen able to?
Really 2 weeks. Both of them have been practicing. And that doesn't guarantee anything. You know, you can practice well, but it doesn't guarantee anything. But if you don't practice well, you don't even have a chance. But both of those guys have practiced harder. I thought their approach to the game has been better, their attitude's been better, and then lo and behold, here we go. Now we start to see some things happening. And so it's good to see the growth of those guys, and it was good to see, you know, the older guys like KJ, Austin, Ben, and those guys show them the way. And that takes a lot of, you know, unselfishness along their part. But that's the same legacy that Terry and Paris and those guys left behind, and they're going to keep that going. So it was a good start, and it was good to see those guys make some plays.
Over to the left, Bill.
It's 4 games now. You guys have really not been tested at all. Do you really have a sense of just how good you guys are? Or are you still kind of waiting to find out how good you really are?
Yeah, I think maybe midway through the season, we'll have a better idea. I do think that you know, we're playing with a lot of passion. We're playing hard. We're playing tough. I mean, that's clear to see. But again, like you said, you know, we go on the road next week. That's a big test. So I think I'll have a better idea after next week.
Over to the right, Clay.
No disrespect to Indiana, but as you mentioned, limbs are sort of over. How much better is Nebraska than anybody you've played?
You know, hard to tell. I haven't really watched them much on film. We've been trying to stick with the mantra of winning this game and focusing on this game. But Scott does a really good job, and their defensive staff's really, really good. And they have a really good quarterback, and that's a hard place to play. I mean, that's a real place to go on the road and try to win. So that's a big challenge for us. So, you know, we'll start talking about that tomorrow morning. Actually kind of talked about it a little bit just in the locker room, and they were all ears. So big challenge, and that starts even tonight. Just that, you know, this is already going. Usually what we do is we have our meetings tomorrow. We'll still have our champions meetings tomorrow to make sure that, you know, we don't just go by this and reward the guys who play like champions in this game, because it's hard to win college football game, and we're going to do that. But at the same time, we're going to quickly move on to Nebraska and get going on the film.
Second row left. Rob?
Ryan, we're seeing things with this offense that haven't been seen in a while around here, as simple as a quarterback sneak. Are you happy with the fingerprints that you're starting to leave on this program and on this offense?
Well, I think the whole goal is to figure out what plays fit the personnel that you have, and that's what we're trying to do on a weekly basis. And talking through the preseason about the journey that this team was going to go on both sides of the ball and special teams, but then also on offense. What was it going to look like? And that's the fun part about college football, is that based on your personnel, what gives you the best chance to win. And it's not cookie cutter. It's not the same thing year in and year out. You can't just say, hey, here's the playbook. Let's go run these plays. It doesn't work that way. And I think that's the key to really good college coaching, is being the ability to adapt to your personnel and have the ability to go in and out of personnel groupings, spread or under center, or two tight ends, three tight ends. And, I think Kevin, Mike, Stud, Tony, Mike, Brian Hartline, everybody's doing a really good job of making sure we have some variety in our game. But we got to keep going on that.
Is this the defense you anticipated seeing when you started to put things together?
Yeah. I mean, again, we're only 4 games in, but yeah, that was the vision, and I think that we got a long ways to go still. And I know it's hard sometimes. You look at these games, but you do. There's going to be some things on film that we can really look at and figure out how other teams are going to be attacking us, and making sure we have the ammo to come back at them with.
Second row right, Nathan.
What did you see happen on the play that led to the safety? And is there anything about Justin's windup that maybe makes him more susceptible to that from time to time?
No, it was a double move. It was a post corner that takes a little time to develop. And looking back, it was kind of a risky thing coming out, but I wanted to be aggressive in the game. And we ran the ball for only 1 or 2 yards, and I said, let's take a shot. And Ben actually ran a really good route, post corner, but it takes a little bit of time. It was a Sam rifle where the guy blitzed off the edge, and J.K. just got beat a little bit, off the edge, and then he got his hand down. So probably not a great play call coming out. Probably should have just got it out of his hand quick or run it out. But J.K. does have to do a better job in protection, and that's not one that Justin can see. I mean, that's coming off his backside. That's hard, so I don't think that one's on him.
Over to the left, Ari.
Hey, Ryan, coming into the game, you heard the recess comment from the opposing coach, and they're pulling their quarterback out in the first half. And I'm wondering, what can you truly gain? I know getting guys in early, but how do you prepare for this game? You hear the comments, you're aware of what's going on, you know the talent is lopsided. I mean, what are you hoping is what's the goal here besides winning?
Yeah, I think there's 2 things. I think one is, we talked all week about we have momentum, we got to keep momentum, and how do you do that? You have a standard, and we play, and the ball's on the ground. We have a standard of how we play, and that doesn't matter who we're playing, and to continually build on that. A game is a game, and we wanted to do that. The second thing, when you look at a game like this, is it allows you to create that depth and keep building that depth and some strength, and you can really go back on that late in the season. You never know what's going to happen injury-wise. You never know if you get into a game where someone's playing with a lot of tempo and you got to play depth in the game. You just never know. And so I think today was a great opportunity to have a lot of guys to play. I even thought Chugs came in and threw the ball pretty good. I thought that was good for him to be able to go back on. Garrett Wilson makes some plays. Guys on defense running around and making some tackles. So those are things that guys can come back upon later on in the year, hopefully as experience.
Quick follow-up on that is, you mentioned Chug. You guys are in a position right now where you have a starter and you're still trying to identify a backup. How important is it, as this team is on a quest to identify a true, real backup quarterback, to have Chris play an entire half like that?
Yeah, no, I thought it was good, and I thought he took a step forward. Even when Gunnar was in there, he made that nice throw to Jamison, so that was good to see. But I thought that Chris handled himself well in that situation, because he had to play a whole half, and then Gunnar came in and did a good job as well. Moved the team down the field for a couple drives, and we challenged those guys, move the ball down the field. We're not here to just run out the game. Let's really play football and find out where we're going to go from it. And so I think for those guys, there's a lot of film to grow upon, and so we'll make sure we watch that film with those guys for sure tomorrow and see if we can build on those guys.
Okay, we only have time for a couple more. Front row right over here, Austin.
Ryan, what was your vantage point on the Garrett Wilson touchdown, and how would you describe it?
It was a one-on-one go ball that, Chris kind of underthrew a little bit, but he gave him a chance by putting a lot of air on it. And then it was just unbelievable talent, going over the top, getting his hands on it over the top of the corner, but then also somehow making some sort of circus catch. That was things we've seen in practice, but that one was pretty unreal.
And over to the left, Doug.
Ryan, you guys have been pretty successful with the up-tempo stuff. Are you doing it as much as you thought you would coming into the year? And how do you think Justin and the offensive linemen have handled that?
It was funny, early in the game, we couldn't really get into the rhythm of the tempo. It was just kind of funny the way it worked. But I thought we did play fast at times, I think, in the first half. We were snapping the ball pretty quick. We were getting lined up. I'll have to look at it, but I think we were snapping it at times before 30 seconds, so 40, and there was about 10 seconds in there we were getting it snapped. But that's only good if you get the first down. You can't, get yourself into 3 and outs, and so we love tempo. It's a big part of our game. It's not going to be used every week the same amount. We'll make decisions on that before the game, but that also in game. Sometimes it gets you in a rhythm a little bit, and we like playing that way. But we'll kind of take it week in and week out.
It seemed like you maybe took some more deep shots today. Was there something in the way they were playing coverage, or is that part of the offense that you guys wanted to maybe flex that muscle a little bit and see how you could do there?
Yeah, it's always part of our game. We have something in our game plan called shots, and they came up, and we're bringing a bunch of guys. They were loading the box up, which most people do against our run game, and we kind of expected that after last week, the way we ran the ball. And anytime you can get one-on-one matchups on the outside with our guys, we think we've got a good shot.
And last question, front row right. Tim?
Yeah, the pass to Benjamin Victor, the catch at the back of the end zone, what does that do for him from a confidence standpoint moving forward? Are you seeing him progress like you thought he would this year? And then number 2, Chase Young with 2 strip sacks. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, to see Chase come off the edge like that was unbelievable. And it's one thing to be veteran. It's one thing to be really good. It's another thing to play that way and produce. And to see him do that, change the game just like that. And not only that, it changes the momentum of the game. It kind of, if you're on the other side of the ball and you see that a couple times, that can take your heart away, and I think it did. And so he's playing at a high level right now. We got to keep him doing, keep him going at that level, and he's got to keep producing, because when he does, our defense is really good. And for Ben, I thought that was great. Ben's a guy who, if he makes big plays, we go. And that's really been in our first 4 games. And he's made some big plays this year, and that's kind of got our offense going. And he has big playability, so that was a big-time throw and catch.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Didn't expect to have to play this much this early.
Well, you don't ever want guys to get nicked up or injured like that, but I think Coach Johnson's done a great job, and that's really what ends up happening is that the person who's coaching that position has to find a way to rotate guys, and really in the long run it gets your younger guys maybe better sooner than you thought they would be. And I'm just really excited about when everybody gets back. But he's done a very good job of rotating our guys and making sure that the other guys got better.
Have you seen that happening for Zach, for Tyler on Friday, for
Yes.
Devontae Johnson?
I mean, everybody that you see playing in the game, if you noticed how they played like this week and last week compared to the first week, and that's all an example of the kind of job that's being done with them during the week of practice.
Chase hasn't been able to get to the quarterbacks pretty consistently, but is there something he does where he would kind of strip the ball as well with quarterbacks? Chase has been able to pressure and sack quarterbacks, but is there a knack of being able to force fumbles?
Yeah,
Is that a thing that he does well?
Yeah, the thing that he does a great job, and again, Coach Johnson teaches that. They drill the fact that when you come from behind the quarterback or you come from the side, you secure the tackle with one arm and you strip with the other, and he's done a great job of that. Now we just got to get some of them. We've got our guys getting around the ball, and you just got to get them. And we've had a few of them that we haven't gotten, and we'd love to get those.
Hey, Greg, during the lightning delay, were you for or against calling it at the end?
I'm not. I don't care about that. I don't. All I care about is let the kids play. And the good news is we got a lot of kids who got to play today.
I was joking.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway from playing teams like this early in the season?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you say playing teams like this. I mean, the MAC conference has had some great teams, you know, and I've been in the MAC before, and we've played against some teams that have been really good, and you know, I just think it's our kids know that they have to try to get better every week, and that's all we talk about. It's not really who you play; it's each week we've got to get better, and our big theme was momentum. And, you know, when you get the momentum going, it's like that train going right down the tracks, and you want to keep it going. You don't want it swerving off. And I think that's what our kids did again today.
Those first 5 minutes were tough, Coach said, and he even said sometimes you may get punched in the face. Would you say that's what really got him going? It was kind of a wake-up call, like, get in this game?
Yeah, that, and I don't think they needed to wake up. I think we came in ready for this game, but I think they did some things that we hadn't seen. And so it's a real tribute to our players and to our coaches for, you know, adjusting to that and getting it rectified and then go play.
Is this defense ahead of schedule at this point in the season of where you thought it might be? I mean, it's been pretty dominant these first 4 games.
You know, I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. All I know is ever since spring football, I've been really impressed. And I love our work ethic. I love how hard our players play. I love how important it is to them. And this just kind of shows what I kind of thought.
Before the season, Chase said to us his goal was to end up going down as the best pass rusher in Ohio State history. Through 4 games, he's halfway to the school's single-season sack record. Have you seen that level of play from him, and you know, how close is he to being at that level?
I don't have anything to compare it to as far as here or really anywhere else. All I know is I love how hard he plays. I love the attitude he plays with. I love the technique he plays with, and you know, great things will happen for a young man that plays like he does.
You mentioned earlier guys who really showed improvement from week 1 to now. It seems like Zach Harrison is one of those guys. What have you seen from him just since the season started, and you know, where does that potentially let him?
It's the same thing. You know, Zach again is taking coaching. Again, Coach Johnson's doing a great job with him. He sees Chase. He sees the other guys, and he knows what the level is. So therefore, he's getting better and better.
Coach, what did you like from the Dogs in the second half?
Excuse me?
What did you like from the Dogs in the second half?
Well, the thing I liked about them is that they played at the level that we expect them to play. You know, sometimes when you're a freshman or a sophomore, you go in a game and your eyes are really big and you're not really sure what's going on. It's different than practice. This group of guys came in and said, okay, I'm going to play, and I'm going to play as hard as I can play. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we might have gotten every player in the game. And that was really important.
Any chance you know what happened in the Michigan game?
Excuse me?
Any chance you know what happened in the Michigan game?
I don't. Nope, I don't have any idea. Go ahead, next question.
How important is next week? Obviously, the next game's the most
really important.
Really challenging.
Really important. I mean, it's an away game. Nebraska's an outstanding football team, an outstanding football program, and it's really important because it's the next one. And I mentioned it earlier, momentum. I mean, we've got that thing going downhill now. We got it going, keep going, and we got to keep going. You know, and it's just the next one. It's the next game, and we've got to play. We've got to improve. We've got to correct some of the things that might have been a little bit of a problem today, and then go from there.
Does Justin, having to practice against Justin, help you give maybe a little bit of a head start for preparing for Martinez?
Oh yeah, all the practicing we did against him in camp and in spring football and everything like that. Yes, you know, and it'll be a definite test.
In the offseason, we heard a lot about the bullet. Does the bullet exist, or is Brandon White just playing strong side linebacker?
No, the bullet exists. The bullet, the bullet is a guy that plays safety and plays all over the place. And Brendan White is. You notice Brendan White rotated throughout the game. It's whether you call it like a regular defense or a bullet defense. It's one guy, and you know it exists. It definitely exists.
Did Brendan White and Pete Warner, did they do the same things though? Or there
they do the same things in a lot of ways because one thing is Pete is a very, very good athlete, and therefore he can kind of overlap and be able to do the same things. And Brendan White is improving, so he can overlap and do those things. So yeah, and to answer your question, they're getting closer to be the same thing.
So why not just call them the same position?
Because we love calling out the bullet.
Okay. So go ahead. The turnovers today, interception, 2 forced fumbles. How big is that to start coming down?
Well, it's one of our goals. It's one of our goals is to make sure when you run to the football, and that's been a big thing of ours, is we want to play fast, we want to run to the football. Great things will happen. One, we expect that when you run to the football, you won't have a lot of big plays. 2, you'll get more turnovers. And we have caused turnovers, we just haven't gotten them, and it's been luck. I really believe that. There's some times when, like, I'll be real critical and watch and say, did that guy loaf right before not to think we were going to get the fumble? But he didn't. It just didn't come. Today we got him. Today we got him, and that's a good thing.
You talk about luck. How do you prepare your players for opportunities like that?
For substitutions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we just know, we talk about a starting first team and a second first team. I mean, the days are over where you have just a first team and you're a second teamer. No, we need everybody. And what you are doing here is you are working as hard as you can to make sure you're one of those guys that you can be counted on to help win. And that's our guys buy into that. We believe that.
Coach, Chase Young's 2 strip sacks. I mean, you were talking about it in preseason, et cetera. What did you see? Where do you see him come of age with him? And today, especially those 2 plays kind of flipped the game irreversibly.
You want this one? Right here, I'm going to help you.
KJ done? Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Right. Grab that.
Like I said, I'm a very big fan of Jameson. He's a good guy, and we have a great relationship. So Jameson's my guy, and his talent's out the roof. So I can't wait for him to get his opportunity, and he's going to shine with it.
I feel like there's more wrinkles this year on the offense, just in terms of what you guys are doing. Like we saw quarterbacks sneaking their first down in years. Yeah. I know that has to do with Justin. Yeah. Do you feel like there's just sort of you've taken it up a game, a notch, with the offense and the game planning?
Last year we had a lot of weapons, and we had one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. So we definitely switched it up this year with a kind of a dual threat quarterback, but he doesn't really look to run. So we kind of rep things out in practice, and whatever we are around in practice, we can bring to the game. So.
Last question from here. Chris, did you kind of think this is what you'd be doing when you came here? I mean, all aspects of your game so far. It's so early in your career.
Of course, I thought about it. And, my mindset was to come in and make an impact with my team right away and help my team win. So whatever it takes for my team to win, that's what I'll do.
How does it feel to be making big plays so early in your career and substantial plays, really?
Oh, it feels good. You know, we put in the work in practice every week, and just to see the results in the game is very good.
You got a lot of experience, but you were just a freshman last year. What kind of stuff were you helping Jamison and Garrett with as 2 freshmen playing?
The mental part, the mental aspect is very look forward to. Last year I didn't have a really good mental. I kind of got frustrated, and I'm just trying to stick by their side. And you know, being my second year, I kind of went through it last year, so trying to teach the way, and when they get the opportunity, it's going to work out. So.
Have we seen the best catch Garrett Wilson has made? Have y'all just seen it in practice? Like none of those 3 have we seen?
That's not the best catch. In practice, he's a freak in practice, and just like that, he makes several catches like that almost every day. So when he gets the opportunity, like I said, he's gonna shine.
So is there one that I guess comes to mind that off the bat, yeah, that's the best catch I've seen him make since?
He had one this week. He's running the out route, and it's kind of behind him, and he snatched it with one hand with his right hand. He kind of snatched it like back here. So yeah, it was freaky, and it was good. It was good to watch.
Your brother played defense.
Last question from Chris.
Did he teach you anything about maybe how to attack an offense? Just punting and stuff like that.
Yeah, he definitely taught me a lot. Both my older brothers played DB, so they made me who I am today, and I give all credit to them.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate you.
You know they're going to love hearing.